This is a question on partnership accounting, and we would be looking at how to prepare a schedule of division of net income. All right, so let's take a look at the question. F. Astaire and G. Rogers have capital balances on January 1 of $50,000 and $40,000 respectively. The partnership income sharing agreement provides for annual salaries of $20,000 for Astaire and $12,000 for Rogers. Interest at 10% on beginning capital balances and remaining income or loss to be shared 60% by Astaire and 40% by Rogers. The instructions are prepare a schedule showing the distribution of net income, assuming the net income is $55,000. Okay, let's look at how the schedule of distribution of net income looks like. Now this is the schedule of distribution of net income. You give a heading, that's division of net income. Now you can see that there are 4 columns. The first one is for the details, second is for the first partner, which is Astaire, and the second partner Rogers, and then you have the last column, which is the total column for the total figures. We begin with recording the salary allowance given to the partners. The salary allowance for, in the question it says $20,000 for Astaire, so we put 20,000 under Astaire, and $12,000 for Rogers, so it's 12,000 for Rogers, and you have a total of 32,000, which is 20,000 plus $12,000. The second part of the information says interest at 10% on the beginning capital balances. Now let's look at the beginning capital balances. The beginning capital balance is 50,000 for Astaire and 40,000 for Rogers, and the interest is 10%. So write interest allowance, and under that for Astaire, $50,000 capital into 10% is the interest, which is 0.1. 50,000 into 0.1 will give us 5,000. Similarly for Rogers, $40,000 capital into 10% interest on capital, which is 0.1, gives us 4,000 interest allowance for Rogers. And then you have a total interest of 5,000 plus 4,000, which is 9,000. After you have calculated the total interest, total the salary and the interest. So that will give us what is the total salaries and interest distributed among both the partners. For total salaries and interest, you add 20,000 salary plus 5,000 interest, that gives us 25,000 for Astaire. For Rogers, 12,000 plus 4,000, that's 16,000. So the total salaries for both the partners is 25,000 plus 16,000, which is a total of 41,000. Note that horizontally 25 plus 16 is 41, so also vertically 32,000 plus 9,000 is 41. Now the instruction also says assume that the net income is 55,000. Now we have to follow the third part of the information of the question, which says remaining income or loss to be shared 60% by Astaire and 40% by Rogers. So now the remaining income is what you need to calculate. To calculate the remaining income, you have to take the total net income. From the total net income of 55,000, you will subtract 41,000, which is from here, which is the total salaries and interest distributed to both the partners. So to arrive at the net income, to arrive at the remaining income, it's 55,000 of total income minus 41,000 of total interest and salaries distributed to partners, which gives us 14,000 remaining income. This 14,000 is to be shared 60% by Esther. So for Esther, from $14,000, you pay 60%, so it is into, you multiply it by 60%, which is 0.6. 14,000 into 0.6 gives us 8,400. And for Rogers, it's 14,000 remaining income into 40%, which is 0.4, and that gives us 5,600. So you see the remaining income, 14,000, has been distributed between both the partners in 60% and 40% ratio. So the total remainder of 14,000 as distributed for $8,400 and $5,600 gives us a total of 14,000, which was our remaining income. After you finish that, your last step will be to show the total division of the net income of 55,000. Now, total division will be shown based on 25,000 total salary and interest plus the remaining income as distributed to Esther, which gives us 33,400. And for Rogers, it's $16,000 total salaries and interest plus the total remaining income 5,600 as distributed to Rogers, which brings us to $21,600. Therefore, the total division of 33,400 plus 21,600 gives us 55,000, which is also the net income. And vertically, 41,000 plus 14,000 also gives us 55,000. So that's how you prepare a schedule of division of net income.